Welcome to our umpteenth edition of There's an App for That, the Australia and New Zealand Aces attempt to tour the Atlassian marketplace and friends. It's a pleasure to host Screenful, one of my favorites in the marketplace. Over to you, Vova, whose name is not Volvo, despite what Jeff says. There you go, Vova.
Oh, yeah, thanks everyone for joining us today. I'm Vova, super excited to show you all the cool things we've been working on at Screenful. And today we are gonna take a look at how you can make your life easier when it comes to managing tasks and projects. So yeah, I guess we'll first start with introductions. Again, I'm Vova. I'm head of growth at Screenful. Basically, I'm always thinking about how we can make our product work better for you. So I love finding different ways of bridging the gap between what our product does currently and what you want it to do and what it can do to work better to serve you and help you in a day-to-day life. And before we get started, I wanted to ask everyone in the chat to introduce yourself and let me know what do you do. Do you use Jira or Trello? And do you use any analytics tools with those at the moment? So that it will help me tailor the presentation to you. All right, we have a product coach who uses both and currently only uses his brain.
It's a really big, capacious brain, though, Vova. So I've got lots of brain cells.
Yes. So you mainly use Jira Kit, and yeah.
Mainly Jira, even though I love Trello.
Really glad you're using Screenful to pair with it as well. So yeah, we have many people using both actually. Some people out there using Azure DevOps and even personal task tracking. All right, cool. All right, I think I got an idea. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so let's move on and I'll talk a bit about Screenful. So what is Screenful? Well, it's an analytics tool for task management. It helps you to track your work as it moves through workflow from not started to doing to done. And beyond software development, Screenful is also used in manufacturing, inventory, sales pipeline, marketing campaigns, design work. We have churches and car dealerships using Screenful. So it's really like the applications are really vast. And at Screenful, our main goal is to make project analytics simple and easy for everyone, whether you're tech or not. Initially, the product was founded so that we saw there's a gap between people's desire to get some understanding of how their project management looks like, of how it's going, and also not everyone have an ability to like work with tools like Power BI or even time to pull up like some spreadsheets and build graphs. So that's why built Screenful for people who would like to get an idea of their task management data in a visual, easy-to-use interface. As you can see on the screen right now, our main products are instant insights, which means that after you connect your data to Screenful, you get instant analytics out of the box. And then we have charts and reports. And charts are basically like building blocks. We have a library of 15 charts. They're very customizable. I'll show you later. And with those charts, you can build reports, which you can then schedule or share with a link and share with anyone. Last but not least, we have data-driven forecasts. So some of those mentioned charts have the ability to use your historical velocity to forecast what's likely to happen in future.
The session ka join money.
All right.
Muted.
So,
sorry, Janek.
These are the main questions that Screenful can help you answer. Something like what was delivered and when? Are you staying in the budget? Where are the bottlenecks and when things will be done? There's many more questions that it can help you answer, but I just wanted to give you these main ones as an example so that you get some idea whether it might work for you. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna bore you with the slides for any longer. I think we'll just jump straight into the product. I'll show you the product demo and then answer any of the questions you might have. All right. So as you can see, we have some amount of integrations, Trello and Jira among them. We also support GitHub and GitLab for those of you who is tracking developer metrics. So when you first open Screenful, you'll be asked to obviously add your data. And Screenful only has read access. So it means we cannot modify anything in your systems. So let's authorize the access. And you'll be presented with all the Trello boards that you have. And the same with Jira. So you'll have all the Jira boards that you have access to. As you can see, I already added some Trello boards to this demo environment. So I can see them separately. Of course, there are some situations where you want to add a board several times. So let's add this agile sprint board, which by the way, looks like this. So I hope most of you will be familiar with this setup. You have something incoming, then you have stuff in progress, QA, and finally launching it. So we'll add this board to Screenful to see what we can do with it. After the board is added, we use AI to guess what each of these Trello lists, or in case of Jira, there will be statuses. What do they mean? And by that, I mean in which bucket they belong. Are they not started? Are they in progress, or are they done? And if you have things like waiting for approval or in review, we usually recommend putting them in progress so that Screenful can better calculate your metrics. And I'll show in a second why would you want to do that. So, all right, this looks good to me. And after that, I can go ahead and access my insights. So these are fully rebuilt out of the box. As you can see, I did not do anything to configure them. We have 4 tabs: open items, completed, timings, and forecasts. Open are basically showing you all the work that is not started and in progress. You can use dropdowns to change it to basically break it down by assignee, by label, by mapped state. So by Trello list or any other custom field you might have in Jira or Trello. After you authorize your data sources, Screenful automatically pulls up all the custom fields that you have and maps them so that you can use them for filtering and grouping in Screenful. Obviously, you can change things like date ranges. And in many charts, when you will have labels, you can click on those to remove or add them to the analytics. Also, we add some explanations to what those metrics actually mean, whether it's good or bad, and whether you on a good. You can also click on any links to see the exact tasks behind those numbers. And when you click on a task name, you can go to your Jira or Trello account. It will be redirected automatically to the exact task that you clicked on. So these are open. Then we have completed. So some useful things might be comparing created versus completed to see if your backlog is in check and it's not growing exponentially higher or bigger than things that you complete. Things like timings, for example, this scatter plot, really easy to spot bottlenecks and some tasks that take a lot of time to complete. So each dot here is just a task or an issue in Jira. And you can see like in what time you accomplish like 50%, 85%, and 95% of tasks. And of course, by hovering over them, you'll be able to see all the stages that a task or an issue went through before it went to done. So if something is taking, like in this example, 69 days, it's usual that it went to in progress, then it might spend good amount of time in reviews and like quality assurance, and then went back to in progress and so on. So as a project manager or anyone who is like looking at these stats, you can easily see where are the bottlenecks. And this chart is also really useful to finding bottlenecks. So you can quickly take a look if any of the review or waiting states taking too long. Ideally, the chart would look something like this. So things not taking too much time, roughly 2 days to like in doing, and then less than that in other states. So waiting for deployment and in reviews. If it's reversed for you, if like your review is taking up the most time, you might wanna consider changing your practices. So some other charts, and like Screenful out of the box gives you ability to track things like reaction time, so time before work started, then the actual working time, and the whole time from creation to completion. And as usual, you can basically slice and dice it by any of the custom fields that you might have. And lastly, the forecasts. This will just show you all the work that you have, and based on your velocity, when is either most likely, optimistically or pessimistically, you're gonna finish all the work that you have, taking into account how fast you've been doing things or completing issues or tasks in the last 10 weeks. And here it says 10 weeks velocity, but you can actually go to settings and change it. We have really agile settings when it comes to this type of tracking. By default, the units are tasks, but you can also use your card size if that's more relevant to you. And if there are multiple people using Screenful, each of you can configure your own data sources, set your own filters, and this will be saved for each individual. So you're not gonna, your settings will not affect anyone else's settings. Two last charts in the forecasts are these forecasting charts. One of them, this considers that no new work is added, and this one also takes into account your backlog growth velocity. So how many new tasks you're adding periodically, as well as how many tasks you're completing. And then it can show you again different scenarios and the exact dates of when, based on your velocity, you're gonna complete all the current tasks. So that's it. Before we move on from the insights tab, I wanted to just take a pause for everyone to breathe in and breathe out, and to maybe ask some questions in chat if you have any at this point, so that I will know what to talk about next and where to spend more attention.
You've got a few sort of good thematic ones, Vova.
Yes.
So there was a question earlier about the difference between Jira plans and this feature. So I guess your view of how it compares to others. And then Jeff's got some kind of queries around security for Australian-based users with data residency requirements.
Yeah. Oh, I guess one of the questions also people ask is why not just use default tools like built-in analytics, or something like spreadsheets. And basically, default tools are good, but they don't go very deep. You can't really slice and dice as well as you can do it in Screenful. And we also have report scheduling and sharing capabilities, which might simplify things there for you as well. And well, really, regarding the spreadsheets, they work, but to set them up, it will take you a lot of time, a lot of manual work. And we basically think that you would rather spend this time elsewhere and just let Screenful automatically generate insights and analytics for you into easy to digest reports, which you can then share with your team or customers, clients, or higher ups, and just be done with it. Unless you're a type of person who really loves setting up sprint and working with the spreadsheets. Let's see if there are any other questions. I guess not for the moment. All right, let's move on to charts, which are our built-in blocks. we have a library of pre-built charts. We have 15 plus charts. On our website, we have this tour page where you can see all the chart types and common examples of how they can be used. So some of them, or probably most of them, I already showed you. Notable example is this table chart, which also has formula column, so that you can basically works in the same way as Excel's formulas, and you can use it to calculate many things or display things like this in progress calculated field over here. Chart I haven't showed yet is this burn down chart, which is used for things like tracking sprints. The workload chart, which takes into account all the due dates that you have and displays the amount of tasks with due dates each week or month or quarter and so on. This you already seen and pretty sure you're familiar with it. And some of the charts that we also have are stacked area chart and this pie chart over here. Right, we have a question. How do you configure the reports with the data sources available? Is it user-friendly? Does it has anything to manage costs? Good questions. I will proceed to talk about reports in a bit. Regarding the costs, it really depends. So if you have a custom field that also specifies a cost of a task or an issue, it could be hours or it can be directly like monetary cost, then yes, we can definitely help you with analyzing and getting insights of those. And if not, we can still show you the time tracking and time spent on different items so that it can help you with the cost estimations. So we have many agencies using Screenful for tracking their work and budgeting. So yeah, going back to the templates, let's see if there are any interesting charts that we might want to take a look at. I guess we already seen like most of them. So again, something that is short. Okay, we haven't actually seen this timings by workflow state, which is a recent addition, and I think it's pretty cool. So this chart basically shows you a list of tasks sorted by the date completed. So the most recent ones going to the top. And then you can see easily the timings for each Trello or Jira state, or Trello list or Jira status. So basically how much time it's spent in those. And another chart, I hope it's already in production. Yes, great. So similarly shows you all the tasks, but it shows you time in current workflow state. So here you can specify, for example, only like tasks that are in review, and you can sort them by how long they are already in review, so that you can spot which tasks are taking too much time and maybe pay more attention to those. It's not, when you're working with really big boards, it's not easy to spot these or even know, okay, I've seen this task for maybe 2 weeks already, but I'm not sure. So with Screenful, you can get kind of like a definitive answer of whether this task is spending too much time in some state or not. And then you can, of course, compare it to something like your average time spent in this state to kind of give you some idea of whether it's overboard or not. So each chart can be, I'll show you how to configure charts. So let's create new chart. It can be a line chart. Here you select your data sources, so either Jira or Trello boards, and you can select as many as you want, as long as they have similar structure and similar fields. You should be good. And even if they have different structures, most of them work in similar fashion. So after selecting your data sources, you can decide whether you want to track number of issues or tasks, card size, or time in state. So time in state is useful when you want to, for example, pull something like a line chart to show you cycle time averages or lead reaction time and so on. And as you can see, we also have this checkbox, which allows you to only include business hours. And I'll show you how you can configure it
Am I audible
in the
now?
settings.
But your volume is very less. Just a second. Why I'm hearing it very less?
I think it's you, Avijit. Hope it was okay at our end.
Okay.
So good luck.
All right.
Paramita, are you there? Haha, now I can hear. Haha, now I can hear. Yeah.
Thanks, Avijit.
All right. So in line charts, if we want multiple lines, so for example, we want to compare cycle time to reaction time to our lead time, we can do it just like so, adding new lines. And you can set filters and use all of your custom fields for the filters. It can support or and logic. So you can really get granular with these. And for example, if you're managing a team on a larger board that has multiple teams, you can just select the team members in your team from here so that the chart will only show the metrics that are relevant for you. So yeah, we will give this chart a name. You can successfully create it and see some metrics. All charts can be shared. They can be either privately shared with whoever has Screenful account or with a public link. With this link, anyone can see this chart. So by opening a new tab, put this link in, this is how people gonna see this chart. Screenful updates data every hour. So whoever sees this chart, they will see the most up-to-date version. And you don't need many people creating Screenful accounts with this feature. Of course, charts can also be embedded with the iframes. This is useful, for example, if you use Confluence or you want to embed charts into other tools or like your intranet. This can be done with the embeds. After you created your charts, they could be exported as CSV or JSON, or they could be added to reports, which I'll show you in a sec. So these are charts. Now moving on to reports, similar to charts. We have many report templates. Let's take a look at this timings one. Or actually, we've just seen a lot of timings, but I guess this actually would be a good demonstration. So here you automatically got a report just in 2 clicks, and it already uses your data, which you selected. As you can see, we have quick filters here, so you can modify which assignee you want to see data for. This is useful for when you're sharing your report externally, for example, with clients or higher-ups, to give them some ability to play with the data. And these are fully configurable, so you can disable these quick filters as well. By default, we are showing reports by Screenful over here, but it's also possible to go to report settings and show your own logo in here. And you can also customize report colors and theme, whether you want it to be in dark mode or light mode. Similarly to charts, reports can be shared with share links, private or public, and embedded anywhere on the web. But the coolest thing about report, I think, is the scheduling feature, which allows you to specify the exact time when you want your report to be delivered to your email or Slack. So I can, for example, like here at Screenful, we run bi-weekly sprints. So I can specify that I want to see this report bi-weekly on Wednesday right before the sprint starts. And then select people. And everyone who I select will receive this report right before. So they get an idea of how things went. And it's going to be a good start. Similarly, we have report templates to show you daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. So if you run daily stand-ups, you can schedule something like this daily report, which you can also modify to see quickly who did what, are there any blockers, and basically, help you and your team to stay on track. We have many other reports, things like work that is due. So stuff you want to pay more attention, your deadlines, basically. Delivery performance or backlog report. So looking at the backlog health is also important in many organizations. But that's pretty much it. All the charts and reports have filters and really agile and flexible groupings by any of your custom fields. So you can really tailor them for your needs. And then just schedule them so that, and don't even think about it anymore. You will automatically be getting all the insights you need in timely manner. I think that's pretty much sums it up. Let's see if we have any specific questions, or let me know maybe you have some use cases in mind that you want me to cover.
I want to think of something in 2 minutes, just as you're rounding up over given normal things. I guess to share, in particular, the burn up or forecast charts I use all the time from Screenful. So I'm a big fan of those ones because it's much more flexible than the native Jira areas there. Okay.
So you're using burn downs and forecasts.
The milestone one, the burn up.
Okay, burn up. Got it.
Forecast, I think you call it different things. Looks like we got no questions.
All right. Well, I was prepared, so I actually there are these questions that people commonly ask, and I still wanted to give myself the ability to talk about these. Yeah. So I already answered how often data is uploaded every hour. Screenful cannot make changes to your data. If you have some outliers, like I showed previously, if you have some tasks that are normally all the tasks taken like a couple of days, but you have just this one that takes like 4 months, you can remove it by adding like a custom field and saying outlier, specifying it with some tag, and then excluding it from your analytics. You can also import data to Screenful from Jira Service Management, Work Management, and Product Discovery projects. So these are also commonly asked. You would need still to have Jira software instance. And often people archive their tasks. So it's actually interesting. If the task already done and you archive it, then nothing happens. We just treat it as normal done task. So you can safely archive those. But if it's not done, then we discard it. So it doesn't affect analytics. If, for example, you were working on some task and it wasn't doing, and you archived it because it's no longer needed, then it's just not gonna affect any stats. All right, and those are the most common questions that people usually ask. If there are no more questions, then I think that wraps it up. And I want to thank you all for joining.
Just one question. I'm sorry, it's the last.
Sure.
I think the Jira one is integrated. I mean, that's also possible here, or how is it? I mean, I know I've seen the Trello, but is that something the Jira also possible integrated?
Sorry, can you repeat? I wasn't
able to hear me?
Yes, but it's a bit muffled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, sorry. So what I was asking is that Jira also will be able to integrate with this?
Yeah. We have a Jira integration, yes. You can install Screenful Analytics and Reports add-on from Jira Marketplace. It's as easy as clicking one button. Or you can also go to our website, which is screenful.com, and click sign up, so that you just create your own account. You don't need to install any add-ons. Right, cool. Glad you found it informative.
Thank you. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vova, and thank you to everyone, particularly those who left comments and questions and things. The links are in the chat for our YouTube and LinkedIn areas, and you can sign up for your ACE as well. And yes, we'll be posting the recording, but definitely go to the Screenful website and have a go. There's a free trial there too. We'll see you all soon. Let's see what the AI churns out when we press end.